Tashtilik everyone, I am Tenzin Chime. Welcome to Tibet This Week, a weekly feature in English that tells you about this week's news on Tibet, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and the Central Tibetan Administration. Let us look at the headlines first. Time has come to make this planet peaceful and harmonious, says His Holiness the Dalai Lama. United States House passes resolution recognizing genuine autonomy for Tibetans. President Sangye meets United States Ambassador in New Delhi. Speaker and the Deputy Speaker of Tibetan Parliament in exile participate in flag-off ceremony of Into Tibet bike rally. The United States State Department report describes Tibet as a military-occupied land. China cannot pick the next Dalai Lama, says the United States Ambassador Brownback. Geneva Forum Declaration calls for appointment of special mechanisms to monitor human rights under People's Republic of China. British Member of Parliament raises concern over ethnic cleansing in Tibet. His Holiness the Dalai Lama reminds his audience to work towards making this planet a peaceful and harmonious one through education and on the basis of sense of oneness of 7 billion human beings. On Thursday this week, His Holiness the Dalai Lama took part in a virtual dialogue on resilience, hope and connection for well-being with Professor Ian Hickey from the Brain and Mind Research Institute, University of Sydney. The virtual dialogue is a part of the Happiness and its Causes 2020 conference, a forum for exploring the many and varied causes for the happy and fulfilling life.
Logically, whole universe, whole galaxies, there is beginning. So logically, anything which have beginning, they logically end, come. So therefore, now whole galaxies, now gradually, now ending. Goddard. So this nature phenomena, so we cannot do much. Now what we can do, and important is, while we alive here, we should be happy life, peaceful life. That is important. Whole sort of galaxies now changing, and this planet also now changing, and meanwhile we fight each other. We create a lot of problem by ourselves. It is quite sad and actually illogical. Whole galaxies now gradually ending. While we are alive, we should live happily, peacefully. So all this, education is key factor.
This week, the United States House of Representatives passed a resolution titled Affirming the Significance of Advocacy for Genuine Autonomy for Tibetans in the People's Republic of China and the work His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama has done to promote global peace, harmony and understanding. The resolution headed by Congressman Ted Yoho states that the House of Representatives recognizes the cultural and religious significance of a genuinely autonomous Tibet and the deep bond between the American and Tibetan people, commends the 14th Dalai Lama for his commitment to global peace and nonviolence, and determines that it would be beneficial to convene a bipartisan bicameral forum, either through a joint meeting of Congress, a teleconference broadcast in the auditorium at the Capitol Visitor Center, or roundtable between members of Congress and His Holiness the Dalai Lama to discuss peaceful solutions to international conflicts.
The CCP is trying to stamp out Tibetan Buddhism and Tibetan way of life, even though Tibet is guaranteed autonomy under China's constitution. Despite these challenges, the Dalai Lama has stood as a leader in the promotion of human rights and religious harmony and the preservation of Tibetan culture and religion. The Dalai Lama's contribution to peace and nonviolence has been revered by the international community and for decades by the U.S. Congress. Congress has remained committed to strengthening the relationship between the U.S. and the Tibetan people. I'd like to thank His Holiness, the 14th Dalai Lama, for his dedication to the Tibetan people.
Sikyong Dr. Lobsang Sengye has thanked Representative Ted Yoho, a long-time Tibet-supporting Republican congressman, for sponsoring this crucial resolution. During their meeting in November 2019 on the first leg of Sikyong's U.S. tour, Representative Ted Yoho had reaffirmed the congressional bipartisan support for the Tibet issue and promoted his place to invite His Holiness the Dalai Lama to address members of Congress through a video conference. President Dr. Lobsang Sengye had an hour-long meeting with the United States Ambassador Kenneth Ian Juster last Friday afternoon, following a series of various other official engagements in India's capital. President Dr. Lobsang Sengye also participated in a closed-door discussion on Tibet organized by the Vivekananda International Foundation and appeared as a keynote speaker of the international virtual roundtable organized by the World Uyghur Congress. Speaker Pema Jungne and the Deputy Speaker Acharya Yeshif Hyunsok of Tibetan Parliament in Exile participated in the flag-off ceremony of Indo-Tibet bike rally in McLeodganj on Wednesday this week. Under the initiative of Tibetan Youth Congress, 50 bikers from Dharamshala, Kullu Manaling, Digiling, Ponda Sahib, Bir, Delhi and Rohtang began the Indo-Tibet bike rally to expose China. The bike rally would conclude at Kinnaur, Indo-Tibet border on 23rd November. The United States State Department's Office of Policy Planning released a 72-page report titled The Elements of China Challenge for how the United States has responded and should respond to China's ongoing authoritarianism. The report devotes space to the discussion of repression of ethnic and religious minorities in China. Most notably, the document describes Tibet as a military-occupied land on page 42. In gross violation of the principles set forth in the 1948 Universal Declaration of Human Rights, the CCP maintains a military occupation of Tibet that dates to 1950s, conducts a brutal program in Xinjiang to re-educate Uyghurs and millions of other Turkic Muslims, oppresses ethnic Mongolians in China's Inner Mongolian Autonomous Region, and imposes onerous regulations on China's Christians, whose number around 70 million. Along with Tibetans, the Elements of China Challenge discusses the repression of Tiananmen Square protesters, Uyghurs, and Christians. The United States Ambassador at Large for International Religious Freedom, Sam Brownback, has opposed China's intervention in picking the next Dalai Lama, saying the United States supports that religious community has the right to pick their own leadership. That certainly includes the next Dalai Lama. Ambassador Brownback was addressing the 2020 Ministerial to Advance Freedom of Religion or Belief, where he answered some pressing religious freedom issues in the world, notably China's persecution of Uyghurs, Tibetan Buddhists, Christians, and Falun Gong, etc. Last year, Ambassador Brownback visited Dharamshala, the exiled seat of Central Tibetan administration, where his presence made a powerful impact of hope upon the Tibetans while sending a tough message to China. Geneva Forum Declaration called upon the governments as well as international bodies to appoint special mechanisms to monitor and report on the egregious human rights situation, including the violation of freedom of religion or belief under the People's Republic of China at both national and multilateral levels, as urged by the 50 United Nations independent experts on 26 June 2020. Expressing grave concern over systemic violations of freedom of religion or belief in regions under the rule of People's Republic of China, the declaration further called upon the governments to publicly join calls for the protection of freedom of religion or belief for all the religious groups under the rule of People's Republic of China and urge the Chinese government to refrain from interfering with the rights of the religious groups to choose and determine their own religious leaders, such as the reincarnations of the Dalai Lamas. Geneva Forum 2020, held virtually for 5 days last week, saw human rights experts, practitioners, academicians, activists, diplomats, advocates, parliamentarians, and leaders deliberate on the central theme of the third Geneva Forum 2020, China's policy on freedom of religion, global impact. British Member of Parliament Tamanjit Singh Desi raised concern over violations of freedom of religion and belief in Tibet by Chinese Communist Party in the UK Parliament last week.
The authoritarian Chinese Communist Party regime has now turned its tyranny onto pro-democracy Hong Kongers. So what concrete steps is the Minister taking to mobilise our international partners so that the world's democracies act against this human rights crisis in an effective and coordinated manner?
That is all for today. See you next week. Until then, take care.